Palma Park. Actually, this is where the homeless used to stay during the daytime, away from the actual park up there in the front. But now they can't even come here. They now building a dog park. And where are the shelters? They could build a dog park in 3 months. March 7 will be the grand opening, and I hope people will come out here and march in solidarity with the homeless, because you know, the city's more concerned with having a dog park than giving the homeless shelters or a safety zone. So this is it, folks. Where's the justice? Where's the compassion? The city of compassion, the city of kindness. For who? The dogs? Alright, you know, I love animals, don't get me wrong, but this is just not right. Now this is where they're staying out during the day. Okay, no park for them anymore. Anybody here? Nobody's here. Just gonna leave them the umbrella here. Looking for people out here. I'm going to Maxwell Park right now, but let me cover their shoes. Hopefully this thing doesn't fly away. Oh, and we're gonna have to start telling them they can't leave their stuff just laying here. But anyways, we're out here in La Palma. I'm heading out to Maxwell Park right now. Just got some umbrellas. So they're needed. Another good thing is to have wind jackets with caps. So anyways, this is Lou Noble signing out here looking for the homeless. Signing out.
Social services is often seen as a place to cut back, but does it actually save more in the long run? The 2009 Where We Sleep report showed that it was nearly 5 times as expensive to leave people on the street instead of providing housing with services to those in need. Given the costs of emergency medical and city services, a person in a supportive housing environment has a secure roof over their head, plus case management to access resources to permanently transition off the streets. Everyone has their own idea for ending homelessness. The important thing is to continue asking the questions and working together to find new answers.
My solution for ending homelessness, or at least in this vicinity, is the different service groups working together with the police department. We're not the answer to ending homelessness at all. What we can do is, like I said, our job is create the environment by creating law and order so that the influences of the service providers is stronger than that of the gang members and their drugs. And then once these people get on their feet, housing has to come online and take these people in and give them jobs and things like that. So these things have to work in that order. Order, shelter, housing, jobs. And they have to work together. If it doesn't, it's not going to work. We can't be fighting amongst each other.
the two people who precipitated this meeting, the gentleman at the end of the table who's filming us now, and this gentleman to my left, when I talked to them at the council meeting, I realized that they really weren't aware of the number of things that we had going on. But what I also found interesting is as I talked to people from various departments, that there have been extensive conversations between the police department, the direction of the police department, and these gentlemen. That CityNet has engaged these folks as well. And I certainly have in my efforts at the council meeting. So I think that's a good thing. We all kind of know each other. I think we all would like to, help people in need in Anaheim. That's all of our departments, and you'll hear there's a number of departments represented here. That's quality of life is what we are all about as an agency in community services, and these other folks too. And the work that they do is creating the best quality of life in our community. And we have been, I believe, demonstratively successful in the number of people we've been able to place in supportive housing. That is the model now for the nation, is get folks indoors and then help them with their whatever issues are that are preventing them from reaching where it is that they're trying to be. That doesn't necessarily, there isn't a standard approach that I've found. In the 18 months I've worked on this project, what I've found is there isn't a one simple answer for dealing with this community. The problems are very complex. What's most important is that we engage as many people as possible in the effort. And then we educate not only the people who are advocating for this community, but those people that feel victimized by this community. Because there is an extensive feeling of victimization in our community because of the behavior of a small minority of people that are in this community. That's just a reality. And that's reflective of the general population. I mean, in any town of 10,000 people, you're going to have a certain number of people who are angels who walk among us, doing beautiful things, and you also have people that live to victimize others for their own benefit or whatever. Any population of people will have those represented, and then the rest of us are somewhere in between, just trying to get through the day, and those of us that can try and make things better while we're here. I've grown up in this community. I walked to Palmer Park and played there as a kid. That was a long time ago. I'm almost 60. And I've been here, worked or lived in Anaheim for 55 of those 60 years. And I can tell you that I can look at this as both a person who is a human services professional and also as a person who has lived here and grown up here. So I'm not going to talk about my department because I've got other folks here that can do that. I basically, perhaps the best place to start was with PD, and I'm not sure which. Well, maybe we should go around and introduce ourselves first. Let's do that first. So Terry Lowe, Community Services Director.
Jared Young, Captain, Police Department. I oversee our Operations Support Division, which encompasses our community prison team, our homeless outreach team, among some other bureaus, but those are the ones that are of your guys' attention today.
Jess Finger, I'm the City Code Enforcement.
Sandra Sager, I'm the manager.
Julie Harvey, I'm the Deputy Chief of Police Department.
Jacob Lee, I'm with Focus North America. It stands for the Fellowship of Orthodox Christians United to Serve, and we work with all the local Orthodox churches now, people in need. So our main project with the Most Project, we do shoes with the schools. Provided, I don't know how many, a lot. Like we provided 30,000 to the county. I don't, countywide shoes last year. So that's welcome to you.
Pastor Scott from Unity Christian Church here in Anaheim, and I pastor homeless ministry that just does anything that we can help them, whether it's getting food, clothes, shelter, but most importantly prayer. And God moves in their lives, get some jobs, and they get off the streets or get delivered from drugs or that kind of stuff. We just focus on that end of it spiritually, get them what they need, get them to learn about this, and then we get praise reports every week. So we tend to work with this situation. And this is my friend from church, and she comes with us. Welcome. Christine.
I'm Kristen.
Bob Conklin with the Police Department's Homeless Outreach Team.
Matt Adrian, I'm the sergeant in charge of the West Community Policing Team.
Nathan Zug, pastor in the West District and a caring person on the subject.
Yeah, I'm Lou Noble, and I'm an advocate for the homeless here in Anaheim. And
Brad Kudoff, Executive Director of CityNet, and our context here is I'm also an ordained minister. But we are facilitating the homeless collaborative efforts, linking the faith community as well as nonprofits, city entities all together to
get people off the streets.
Great.
Matt Bates, the city head.
I'm First Step Director of Housing Programs Manager for the Community Development Department.
Joe Perez, Community Services Superintendent. I manage the Human Services section that includes Youth and Family Services for Anaheim.
I'm Shawnee Larson-Cash from the Community Services Department, and I oversee our Recreation, Human, and Neighborhood Services Division.
Brian Kay, homeless advocate and civil rights advocate. Over 7 years between Santiago Creek riverbed between Santa Ana and Orange. I painted over graffiti, cleaned up trash, spoke at city council meetings, wrote letters to just about every state, city, county, agency, working to improve the quality of life in that area. At the end of the 7 years, the graffiti, vandalism, homelessness, and criminal element has been reduced by over 90%. Even after having not been there for a year, working faith-based building, here in the city hall square. I went back there recently, and it's still maintaining that improved standard.
And Joshua Collins, and I've been traveling since about 2002, doing street ministry among the homeless and preaching, and actually started the Facebook group Homeless Advocates for Christ. And while living with the homeless, I've learned a lot about the struggle that they face, and even as a sober person that doesn't do drugs and get drunk, I've learned that sometimes you're still going to get attacked, and I'm hoping to see people's rights, that we honor the rights of the poor, and try to work together to make it easier for people just to simply survive so that they can maybe move on to something else or whatever God has for them. But I just think that sometimes it gets a little bit, you look at the high rent prices and the low wages sometimes and how hard it is for people to get housing. I think we need to work to make that a little bit easier for people and hopefully get some more sober living houses maybe available also for people that want to get sober. I'm going to talk to some of this.
Being as a homeless person, by choice, I used to be a math teacher for almost 4 years, and then God called me to travel and minister on the streets, and I've been doing this for many years, since 2002, and experienced a lot of this kind of, treatment. So my question is, could we provide a safe zone or something like that where people could sleep, and make sure that it's a sober safe zone, make sure that there's a safe place, and that we have security there, of course, of some sort, not a place where they can just sit there and shoot up, or, I'm not in any way trying to advocate that or support that, but if people are just trying to exist, and it's very difficult, if you're homeless in Anaheim, to just exist as far as sleeping. You go to a park, you're going to get a ticket. If you go outside of a park, they're going to call the police on you and be like, hey, you can't be here in this business or whatever. And where else are you going to go? You got to go to some other private property that hopefully they're not going to call the police on you. And then there's people sleeping in cars, and I got a friend of mine that he was actually frisked, and he's just trying to, be out of the way and sleep on this car on the sidewalk. He pulled over to the side, and he's just trying to get some rest, and he gets frisked and pulled out of his car, and it's like, it just does a constant attack. On people that are just trying to exist at night. And they can't just disappear from, 10:30 to 5 or 6 a.m. when the park reopens. They have to have somewhere to go. It's just a real simple solution. And that's what they did in the city of Miami. The case was Ponder versus the city of Miami. But they actually created a safe zone. They did a class action lawsuit, the ACLU versus, the city of Miami. And it was that case Ponder versus the city of Miami. But anyways, they won, and they ended up creating safe zones for the homeless to sleep, and it was quoted that you cannot be, harassing or ticketing for quote-unquote life-sustaining activities, whether it be brushing your teeth or going to sleep in a public space. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And you see that in other cities right now. They're trying to criminalize people for feeding the homeless and that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that Anaheim can kind of be on the front of actually creating a more progressive city that kind of intervenes in the situation versus just attacks people that are poor. I mean, I don't see why you can't come up with a couple parking lots, and at least let people sleep there, because they're going to sleep somewhere. Bottom line, they're going to have to sleep somewhere, and they're going to sleep somewhere. They're going to sleep in the park, or they're going to sleep at a business. Just give them somewhere to go, an option. And that's why I used to tell police, they'd come on me, and I'd be sleeping somewhere, where can I go? One officer did a great job. You know what she did? She took all my stuff, put it in the car, You drove me all the way to Buena Park, where the church that lets you sleep, you know, outside their church. You know, I said, wow, that was cool for her to do that. She didn't just, you know, too bad, just go somewhere. She actually tried to solve the problem, you know, and that was really cool. And you know, some people need help like that. Another officer, I was actually in a private area because we can't sleep in the park, so we were sleeping outside in the private area. And he says, well, I asked him, can we sleep in the park? I mean, he's like, yeah, go ahead. You know, I know it's against the law, and you know, you probably frown on that maybe, but at least he gave an option. And then no one got hurt. You know, no property was damaged. We slept in the park. We had peace that night. And actually, right now, they're trying to get this California Homeless Bill of Rights passed, where it will be legal to sleep in public spaces, including parks. So, I mean, that's progressive to me, and it kind of helps to solve some of the issues, and it would relieve the police of having to deal with some of the silly stuff, like, you know, going to people that are sleeping outside. You know, I mean, why can't they be, you know, worrying about people that have guns or something like that, or that are really going to hurt somebody? You know what I mean? Why waste all their time and taxpayer money doing these types of things? And I think that maybe a little tweak in some of the laws might help to bring a relief to the police and what they have to do. And maybe not all the residents will be happy with the changes, but you're going to have to pay either way. You either have to pay with taxpayer money through, you know, having the police do all this stuff, through hospital visits, because, you know, people are getting sick out there and they can't stay healthy because they're getting shoved around everywhere and losing all their stuff all the time. You know, there's going to be hospital bills, there's going to be police money spent, you know, or create a safe area for them to sleep, and then pool the resources in there, kind of like an interim until you get that shelter going. Because right now, you know, there's no shelter. So I mean, I really am encouraging something to be created in the interim until that shelter arrives.
And that would help. I think would help some of this 5,000 calls per month. If
exactly
the calls could be, then the area could be focused in one area.
Yeah.
You know, so you guys aren't running around all over our nations answering all these calls on, you know, that pop up because they have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
They're focused, and the call's going to be to the same place.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know
maybe
exactly, but you know.
When I checked around, the holidays was really cold, or about 3 weeks ago. The Armory in Fullerton, as far as I know, hasn't ran out of bed space. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've ever, that I know of yet, turned people away because they've been overbooked. So
well, the Mercy House representative said that at our last meeting, which was last Wednesday, said we have not turned anyone away from the shelter since we opened it.
So there is a place that exists, and there's transportation from Palma Park. There is an issue if they weren't able to check in their stuff. I talked to a lot of homeless too. I don't want to lose my stuff. There's no one I really trust to leave it with. Sometimes leave with a friend. Hey, I'm going to go to the Armory. Will you watch my stuff? I said, hey, I don't have a friend that I trust it with, so I'm not going to go. I mean, that's an issue that you're right. But the Armory, we need to really encourage people until, because even if this works, it's not going to get worked out right now, to go, especially while it's cold, to get in somewhere safe.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like with the Armory, I've talked to some of the people, and one of the reasons they don't want to go there is because it's so far from, you know, what they want to do or what they're doing, as far as maybe they got family ties closer to this area, like maybe by Maxwell Park or whatever. They don't want to like lose their things. Also, they're worried about that as far as going back and forth.
We're shooting to another city. We're talking about Anaheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the bus brings it back real early in the morning, though. It is early in the morning.
That's not an issue.
Supporting that shelter for a couple of decades. This isn't
the Mercy House.
The
Mercy House representatives are here. Someone from there, or anybody from Mercy House?
No, Mercy House isn't here today.
Okay.
But it's safe. It's safe.
It's
a safe place, and it's warm, and you know you could get something to eat, and it's there may be a little bit of inconvenience, but it's a safe place.
Yeah, the problem is transportation. A lot of them don't have bus passes. It'd be great if there was a bus that would take people from Maxwell Park there, you know, because you know a lot of them don't have bus passes to go all the way there and back and all that.
And that's the other thing, like you said, it's everything is hard when you're on the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, just to get one thing done, even if you have to go.
It's a full-time. Being homeless is a full-time job.
Just trying to do
looking for a job is a
normally
full-time
people
job.
would, just to brush your teeth is ridiculous. Just to try to find a place to spit your the white, you know, everything's harder.
Yeah, and one suggestion I had too is if we could get a bus shuttle for them to get showers at the Salvation Army, because I know that the Salvation Army provides showers, but how are they going to get down there, especially from Maxwell Park or Trial Reed, let's say, you know, and that's another issue. One of the main issues as far as you have this resources in various areas or maybe even outside the city, but do they have transportation there, and is it very efficient? And a lot of times they don't have a bus pass, or there's no shuttle bus unless you're right there next to it, like whether it be in Holland Park or.
And even a bus pass, when you got a shopping cart full of stuff.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Bus pass, I mean.
Yeah, it's really.
Well, look, we're working with a couple of our units in our police department to come up with a homeless incentive reward program, okay? So, I don't know what it's gonna look like, but the gist is, we catch you doing something good, we catch you wearing your safety equipment while you're riding your bike, we catch you crossing the street using a crosswalk and not jaywalking, we catch you in a park not drinking and not using drugs. Thank you. And I punch your cart after 5, 6 punches or stickers or whatever we come up with. Here's a bus pass. Here's a food cart. And here's a pair of socks. Here's some clothes. We're working on doing that, but at the same time, I need some cooperation. So I need you to abide by the laws and not be in the parks at night, because these are the reasons that the folks call us. Okay? We don't just go out there and look for people. I got a lot better things to do than write an infraction ticket at 2:30 in the morning at a park. So we're complaint driven. We're out there because the community is asking us to be out there. Okay? So we're devising an incentive program to do just that. You behave, you abide by the laws, so I don't have to be called out there, you're rewarded. We're working on that. That's coming up with Coast to Coast here shortly.
So we are also actively working toward trying to get that year-round shelter. But these things, I mean, government wheels generally grind pretty slowly anyway. These guys down here work with a lot of different government agencies. Do we move pretty quickly in Anaheim based on your experience with other
Shockingly.
cities? Yeah, very fast. Yeah, I'm proud of that. You know, I mean, because we're serious about engaging